Hey guys! So every year our family of four goes camping for 3 to 5 nights. We sleep in a tent and we just love it. We really, really love camping. It's such a cheap family vacation. So we try to go every year. And every year we try to think of at least one thing that we can do better the next year to make it even more relaxing. Because let's face it, getting ready for camping is a lot of work. It is a lot of work. It can be. But this year, I think our food planning has been the easiest it has ever been. So I thought I'd show you our meal plan and some foods that we purchased just to make the trip a lot easier. So here is our meal plan. Hopefully you can see that. So on the one side, John typed up the meals that we want to eat and all of the ingredients that we'll need for each of those things. And then on the other side, I just plan them out the way that I want to eat them. And you can do it however you like, but I try to plan it out so that the foods that will spoil first are what we're going to eat first. So of our breakfast choices, we have pancakes, scrambled eggs, and cereal. So we have scrambled eggs the first day that we don't have to worry about them going bad. Speaking of scrambled eggs, here's a great tip. I actually will pre-scramble the eggs and then put them in a plastic water bottle. So that way when it's time to make breakfast that morning, I don't have to worry about my eggs breaking in the cooler. I don't have to bring a mixing bowl and a whisk and all of that extra stuff. I just bring this bottle full of pre-scrambled eggs and I dump it on the pan and we have scrambled eggs. We do bring some seasonings with us, so I'll season them then. But that makes it so much easier. And then when we're done, we can just throw the bottle out or recycle it. And it's less that we have to take home. So I did buy a lot of pre-packaged food, which I don't typically buy because I do think it is more expensive. I will buy it here and there just to make packing lunches easier for when we're going to picnics at the park and things like that. But this year for camping, I decided to spend the extra money and buy pretty much everything pre-packaged. So that way when we're there, it's easy. The kids can get their own snacks and there's honestly just less mess. So I did buy some fruit cups and I got like pre-packaged chips and things like that. Well, obviously water is going to come pre-packaged, some wipes. But I want to show you how we pack the food. So last year, the new toy that we got is this gigantic cooler. It is huge. I could probably fit both of my children in here, but don't worry, I won't. So we actually can fit all the food on one half and then put all the drinks on the other half. Now, one of my pet peeves of camping is putting your food in a cooler because the ice melts and all your food gets soaking wet and it is so disgusting. And I just don't like it at all. So a few years ago, we bought these containers. We got 4 of them from Corningware Corral store at the Outlet Mall, and they have snap tight lids. So whatever we put in there stays completely dry. So usually I guess we go camping for 4 days. So I got 4 containers so I can put in, Monday's meal in one, Tuesday's meal in another, and so on. And then I stack them with the last days that we're going to be there at the bottom and the other ones on top. These actually stack perfectly in our cooler. And then on Monday, when I need to meal prep or get things ready, I just have to take out the one container every time. And even if the whole rest of the cooler is full of melting ice, my food is still completely dry. This was one of the best things that we ever bought for camping. This year we're only going for 3 days, so I decided to put fruit cups in one of them, so that way they can still be cold, but the kids won't have to be digging around in the freezing cold ice trying to find them. So that is how we keep all the things that need to be kept cold. And then this year I'm trying something new with our dry ingredients. We do try to keep most of our camping supplies in totes because it's just so much easier. Everything stays dry. We don't have to worry about it raining or bugs or animals or anything. So this year for our dry ingredients, I found that I had these 2 baskets that fit into the top of the cooler. They fit side by side. So underneath, I put all of the things I don't have to worry about squashing, like our cereals. Notice, I am not bringing a big box of cereal and a gallon of milk. We're only having cereal one day, so I bought pre-packaged cereal and just a little container of almond milk that doesn't have to be refrigerated. So I don't have to worry about keeping that in the cooler. I might put it in the cooler the night before. Hi.
Hi.
What are you doing?
Have a pee.
Okay. So, okay, so one morning we're going to have cereal. One day for lunch we're going to have SpaghettiOs and grilled cheese. For our pancakes, the morning we're having pancakes, I pre-measured the ingredients into a mason jar, and I wrote on the top how much water I have to add, so that way all I have to do is add the water, shake it up, and pour it out. I actually did order the pre-measured one from Walmart, but they didn't have it, so they just gave me a box. But anyway, so then I also have some salsa and some spaghetti sauce. So as much as I could get ready, I got ready. And then in the top containers, like this container, I have all the s'more stuff. And then I also have goldfish and Triscuit crackers. Those are brand new packages, but I went ahead and opened them because they fit so much better when all the air is out of there. And pretty much everything fits better in your cabinets or wherever you're storing them if you take them out of the box. So I went ahead and did that. And then our chips put on top. And then this one, I just have these other snacks. And then our lemonade, which I'm going to add into our water bottles. So the lid fits perfectly on this container. I don't have to worry about anything getting crushed. All of our stuff will stay dry and fresh, and it'll be fine. Okay, so let's see here. Lincoln still likes to have chocolate milk in the morning, and I found this organic milk that actually doesn't need to be refrigerated, which I do think is a little bit weird, but it's organic, so they must know what they're doing, even though I don't. So I actually keep these in the tent, and then that way in the morning, because he likes to have his milk first thing in the morning, that way if we're still just relaxing in the tent, we don't feel like getting up and going to the cooler and all that, I can just hand him his milk and he's fine, and we can all still just stay relaxing in our sleeping bags. So that's one thing I did last year that I really liked. So I got that again for this year. And then let's see here. What else? Oh, okay, so for the meal prep, we are having 3 dinners at camp. We're going to do goulash one night. So I pre-boil the pasta. I'm just going to mix it up with a little olive oil and put it in a Ziploc bag so that it stores easier in the cooler. And then I already cooked up the meat. So half of that will go for the goulash, and the other half I'll mix up with taco seasoning, and we'll have that for lunch the day that we have tacos. So that's all the meal prep I really had to do besides scrambling the eggs I mentioned earlier. And everything else is prepackaged and ready and easy to go. I don't want to forget anything. But I think that's it as far as meals go. And if this entices you to camp at all, for whatever reason, when we go camping, my husband does all of the cooking. So even though I do all of this part, which is kind of, it's a lot to think about, like a lot to plan, and usually lots of prep, but this time it's, like I said, I made it easier. Once I get there, I really don't have to do anything with the food. Like, he does all of the cooking, and I just do the dishes, which we do use paper plates, plastic silverware. We do have a little cook stove, so we will have some pans to wash. So when we, the day that we're having the goulash, I already have the meat and the noodles ready, and the sauce is in a jar, so I just put it in a pot and heat it up, and then dinner, well, he does that, and dinner's ready to go. I do also have one 31 bag, and it has, I bought the insert that has like these mesh pockets, and so this is where I keep all of the cooking stuff. I got new pans for Christmas one year, so I put my old pans in here because they're my old ones and I don't really care about them. And I know you're not supposed to cook on Teflon, but we only do it a couple days a year, so it's fine. And then I also realized I had a lot of duplicate kitchen items. Like my cutting boards came in a 4-pack, so I just stuck one in there. I had a couple of knives and serving spoons that I didn't really use on a regular basis, so I just stuck those in here. So getting ready for camping doesn't have to be expensive. You might already have most of what you need lying around your kitchen, and you just don't realize it. So, like, I put my super old cooking mitts in there because they were already pretty bad, and now I don't care if they get worse. I had a set of 3 mixing bowls, so I just keep one in here. I have 2 whisks, so I keep one in here. Here's the pot that I'll cook the goulash and stuff in, and then before we go, I'll load it up with the plates and plasticware that we need. What else? This is a non-food tip. Hang on just a second. Hey, oh, those are for camping, buddy. We're going to use those to squirt water when we go camping. Okay? You can try them out now, but you have to ask Daddy.
Daddy said no.
Oh, well then I say no too. You can use them when we go camping, okay? Tomorrow. Can you go put it back where you found it?
Yeah.
Thank you. And then I do also pack, we try to pack everything in totes, so even our extra blankets and sleepwear. And then we started packing a fun tote that only has games and activities in it. So this year I'm going to bring this easel paper. I think that's what you call it. I'm going to just roll it on the ground, let the kids go nuts. And then I packed a bag full of stickers and googly eyes and construction paper and glue and markers. So we'll do some crafts at the table, or if it rains, we'll have something to do. And then in here, I packed some washable paints. I have finger paints. I have just a fun little kids tent for them to play in. And then also, I have a small blow-up pool. And by small, I mean it's maybe 3 feet across and, I don't know, 12 inches deep. It's not really for them to get into, but if I fill it up at the spigot near the campsite, it's cool enough that if it gets really hot, they can still cool down. And then I went to the Dollar Tree and I got the toy my son just had, so they can at least play in the water. Because there actually is no pool at the place we go. And sometimes it does get really hot, so that helps them a lot. So yeah, so we have a fun tote. We have the cooking supplies in a basket. I have a tote with our blankets and sheets because we do like to lay that down on the air mattress. And the air mattress is key for the grown-ups at least. And we do label the sides of the tote with everything that's inside. So the next year we can just check to see, make sure it's got everything we need, and then we just load it up into the truck. So basically when it's time to pack up, we just go down to the basement. We have 2 shelves designated to camping totes and sleeping bags and things. And we just bring all that stuff upstairs, check to make sure everything's still in there, and then load it into the truck. So really the only thing that requires any kind of planning at all is the food, which I've already told you how we made it a lot easier for this year. So anyways, feel free to ask me any questions. I hope that you are having a wonderful summer. Oh, and don't be surprised if when you're getting ready for camping, if your whole house basically becomes a big disaster. Yeah, because it's really hard to get ready for camping and keep your house clean too. But tomorrow, once everything's loaded, we'll take 10 or 15 minutes, go through and tidy it all up, and then we can still come home from our trip to a nice clean house, which is one of the best parts of a vacation. So I hope that you are having a great day. I hope you enjoy your summer, and I hope you get to go camping this year because it is really, really fun. Have a good day.